The Eldar generally prefer to arrange events so that the Imperium and not themselves are the ones fighting against chaos. In the Kaurava conflict, however, Farseer Keres believed that the chaos threat was too great for anything but a direct assault. The failure of the various Imperial forces to peaceably cooperate was one ill omen. The eruption of the warp storm and the speed and ferocity of the Alpha Legion's expansion was an even greater one. The war between Eldar and the Chaos Space Marines was relentless and destructive, as both sides possessed and fought with powerful psychic abilities. The Alpha Legion had all the power of the warp at hand to call upon, but despite this advantage, they were finally overcome by superior Eldar tactics, guided by the powers of Farseer Keres. In this time of war, the Eldar quickly erected certain containment fields to limit the dangers of the warp storm, and left the uncertain work of fully disabling it for some time after a hoped-for Eldar victory. Farseer Keres, upon arriving in the Kaurava system, was wary of the Imperial Guard presence there for several reasons. First, she could not have forgotten the treatment her predecessor, Farseer Taldir, had received on Lorn V and Cronus by the leaders of the Imperium. Second, the likelihood was far too great that the Imperial Guard had a hand in the waking of the Necrons on Kaurava III, and possibly the Warp Storm on Kaurava IV as well. Soon, the Farseer resolved to remove the 252nd Conservator Regiment from the conflict. The Imperial Guard's defensive position in the Dusala precinct turned out to be extremely well defended. But General Stubbs' men could not withstand the Eldar's superior tactics and skill in battle, and after a grueling struggle, were vanquished. In taking control of the region, the Eldar were able to repurpose some of the manufacturing pipelines, greatly improving the ease of construction and deployment within the battle arena. The Eldar knew well that the Sisters Militant would endeavor to exterminate any army outside of the Imperium, and possibly any force within it. Farseer Keres ordered the attack on the Sisters of Battle stronghold in the Sama district purely as a preventative measure. In the end, it was well that she acted when she did. The Battle Sisters proved formidable at their current strength. Any further delay could have resulted in disaster for the Eldar cause. By defeating the Order of the Sacred Rose, the Eldar removed yet another obstacle from their path. The Imperium had squandered its claim on the region, allowing disaster to run rampant. It was high time that Kaurava saw wiser, more capable stewardship. Farseer Keres found herself more and more troubled by visions concerning the Space Marines. Should the Blood Ravens meet with success, several outcomes were possible, and too many involved devastating victories for either the Necrons or the rapacious Dark Eldar. Either through ignorance or provocation, the Space Marines would unleash horrible forces on the galaxy. What the Eldar must do was clear enough, although a daunting task. Guided by her foresight and the wisdom of her ancestors, the Farseer led her army to the lands of solitude, and there made a bold strike against the famed soldiers of the Imperium. She would, of course, have preferred less direct methods, but there was no other way. While the Eldar loss of life was terrible, they did succeed in subduing the Blood Ravens, and their duty was fulfilled. While the battlefield was being cleared, and the Eldar dead ritually lamented, Farseer Keres pondered her army's next move. reflecting on the terrible price that is sometimes paid for peering into the tangled skein of the future.